Sri Lanka's most powerful news brand.
Good evening to you. At the very outset, let me bring to your attention what happened in our parliament. Now, we heard the voice short while ago, and everyone with a common understanding can figure out that it is the voice of the Prime Minister. Anyone would be able to recognize the voice of our Prime Minister. There was a debate in Parliament today, and the debate was not about Mahinda Rajapaksa. The debate was not about who the rogue is. The debate was held, the parliamentary session was convened to table the Bond Commission report, and that was the objective. Now, the President had informed the Speaker, and the Speaker then informed Parliament that the Bond Commission report will be tabled or presented in Parliament within a week. Now, with that happening, the Prime Minister decided to carry on a special or make a special statement in Parliament. And what happened? The members of Parliament came forward, and there was a lot of shouting in Parliament. The members of Parliament had been in the well of the Parliament. They were shouting at the Prime Minister, and you saw a little bit of what happened. Now, with technology these days, people tend to report whatever they see. A few parliamentarians also who had mobile phones with them decided to show what was happening inside the legislature, inside the Parliament, to the whole world. We also very quickly gathered this footage so that you sitting at home can also have a look at what happened inside the Parliament this afternoon. This is what happened. Have a look. As this commotion was taking place in Parliament, the Prime Minister powered on with his speech, and he was met with more uproar, and the members of Parliament were actually in the well chanting against the Prime Minister in the chambers. Now, with this happening, the Parliament was very quickly adjourned. Once the Parliament reconvened, the Prime Minister made that statement that he wanted to make once again. Now, with the question of who the rogue is being raised a number of times in Parliament, this information had gone to the ears of the President, who was speaking at an event in Anuradhapura. The President had this to say of a certain tactic used by pickpocketers. This is what he had to say.
Both sides in Parliament are calling each other rogues. Unable to figure out who the thief is, a major altercation broke out today. You know, there were far more pickpocketers in Colombo Fort back then than there is now. These pickpocketers snatch the money out of the pockets of the innocent people while they are walking along the pavement. While the pickpocketer is running away, the owner of the wallet runs after the thief, yelling that he has been pickpocketed. While all of this is happening, bystanders just look on as the pickpocketer is being pursued by the owner of the wallet. The pickpocketers then start shouting at the thief who is running away. This is exactly what is happening to politics in the country. However, the people clearly know who the thief is and who is not a thief.
The information that we receive from the parliament of our country, with the lack of a better word, is absolutely shameful. Now, these are the MPs, the public representatives, the politicians that all of us appoint. We send them to parliament so that they can solve our issues in parliament. Millions of money is spent on all of the elections that are held, and even on a special session that is held in parliament, about 4.5 million rupees is spent for each session in parliament. We spend all of this money through the taxpayers' money that they collect, and what do they decide to do once they go into parliament? You see what is happening inside the parliament. Now, senior politicians, senior ministers, former ministers, and even junior ministers alike, they act in the same way when it comes to dealing with problems inside the parliament. Is this what we want as a country, and are these the type of people that we send into the legislature, the place where rules and regulations for the country is made? Now, we see a senior minister, we received reports to say that a former senior minister and a member of parliament, a very senior politician, came forward through the chambers and attacked another member of the parliament. Now, these two members are MP Gamini Lokuge, the senior minister, and the other member from the United National Party is SM Marika. What does SM Marika do in return? He retaliates and hits Gamini Lokuge back. While all of this is happening in one side, on the other side, another UNP parliamentarian, Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena, faints. So he is rushed into the Sri Jayawardena hospital. Once again, is this the type of politicians we want in our country? As we speak, there are youngsters, youth, who are trying to get through the local government polls and trying to get into the apex political body in the country, the parliament, to actually make a difference in this country. And this is where they are going to end up. The members of parliament who are present today inside the chambers, out of the 225, whoever was present in parliament should honestly be ashamed of themselves for putting the people of the country down to this level. Now, what was happening in parliament, as I said, was absolutely absurd, because we saw people bringing in coconuts into the chambers. We saw, as you saw in the visuals, there were posters also, the MPs. Now, what happens if by any chance someone decides to bring in a small weapon, something like a penknife maybe? Then what happens with all of this happening? If our parliamentarians are acting in this manner, what could that have, the impact that could have, has to be thought by all of us. Now, after the brawl between the members of parliament, MP Gamini Lokuge on one side and UNP MP SM Marika on one side, UNP MP SM Marika came before the media and had this to say.
From the
moment the parliamentary sessions began, they stood up from their seats, walked into the well of parliament and attempted to sabotage the proceedings. It was then that they started the attack. Then Sisira Jayakodi was holding on to me. Gamini Lokuge attacked me. I responded in kind. I do not know. I did not see any blood. It was Sisira Jayakodi who started it by grabbing me. Then Gamini Lokuge attacked me. I could not stay idle after that.
After the brawl broke out in parliament, after the commotion, all the members of parliament that were involved in this brawl came before the media, and these are a few of the selected cuts that we have for you.
Members of the joint opposition gang turned parliament into a comedy house soon after the parliamentary session started.
We know about
the actions of this Prime Minister. That is why we said we should debate this after the report is tabled in Parliament. However, before the report was tabled, he attempted to make a statement to cover up what has happened. We cannot allow that to happen.
We did not come to Parliament to be assaulted. We have no such need. People like MP Alud Gamage are senior MPs. They acted out with hatred and anger.
If the Bond Commission report is tabled in Parliament, it will bring shame to both Ranil Wickremesinghe and the UNP. They won't be able to walk on the streets. They will be found guilty. They will be named as those who have been accused.
They are making statements because they are scared. We saw how MPs like Appuhami behave today.
An issue arose after Parliament was adjourned. There wasn't a wrongful assault. As a man, we should stand up and protect our people when they are being attacked.
අපේ මේ අපි පිරිමියෙක් හැටියට ඒක කරන්න ඕනනේ.
අගමැතිවරයාට සහ කතානායකතුමාටත් වක්කීමක් තියෙනවා මේ වාර්තාව නැත්.
The Prime Minister and the Speaker have a duty. What was the point of convening Parliament without the report being tabled? They could have decided not to convene Parliament. Yet they convene Parliament and cause an unnecessary issue.
ගණත් අද නිරපරාධේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව කැඳවලා අනවශ්‍ය ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි ඇති කරන්නේ.
Who is right or who is wrong is not the question here. Are these the type of people we want representing us at the apex political body, the pinnacle of democracy, the legislature of the country, the Parliament of Sri Lanka? That's all we have from the Parliament report today. It's back to the main studio. Shaheen and Mahina, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chaturanga.